So out here again at the Francis Johnson Family Cemetery, and was lifting this footstone here to reset. It was pretty sunk, as you can see, we just barely make out the letters, and came across mortar. So someone had either repaired this, or maybe perhaps it was originally put in this. But what's interesting is I found another piece of a marker. So I mean, I'm not aware of any broken markers down here on this part. There are entire markers missing up there, so it may belong up there, but it was down a bit and really almost looked like they've been used to shim this. So it's just interesting and messy what's going on here. Continuing to try to interpret what the layout is in here. And I'm beginning to think that in spite of some odd double markers, and by that I mean Susan Johnson has, 1, 2 in front of her, I don't believe that that's her head. I think that this, her foot is actually way over there, I think. As in this to this. I believe this is Francis, this to that, and I believe that matches the buried original marker, which is hard to see in this light, but it's inscribed and it's sitting underneath this tree. And it was sort of used as a shim. There's a lot, I'm trying to really put it together, and there's a lot of little pieces of information. This cemetery has been, what I describe as monkeyed around with, whether it's intentional or not. There's things that are not in the right places for sure. I really wonder if this, which I just lifted out of the ground, it's not on any footer at all, it appears, actually belonged on top of that, because that would appear to be where Francis's foot, which matches the head that I found over there, may have been, which would mean I suspect that this here would be Nancy. And if that's the case, maybe something here that would be, walking through a row. Nancy, Francis, Susan, 3 smaller graves here. A 4th small one here next to MFJ, which is one of Francis's daughters who died in the 1850s. And then Emma up there, and I suspect we'll find that some of these pieces here, specifically JHJ, is a son of hers. And he should be right next to her, but I'm yet to locate it, so we're going to see. But I'm optimistic that that's the interpretation of how this is laid out, driven in part by the location of his, okay, you're starting to see the inscription right there, his matching head and foot right there, which would be in line with kind of being right here. And then the fact that Helen F. Graves, which used his original head as a shim, her foot was right there, which would mean that, this, where I'm standing, is a row with the heads here, the foot, the heads here, the foot. So that's a little bit less than I interpreted last time. I think some of the confusion was, that I assumed the layout was what we usually see, which is head, foot. But I'm starting to think that that is not. And we've definitely seen some where the head is in front. You kind of stand, I guess put differently, you stand in front of the grave and you see the headstone, and then behind it, the footstone, it all faces you. So that's what I'm thinking right now. We'll see. I'd like to, maybe pour a proper footer for this, this beautiful metal marker. It's just a very uncommon marker here in Bedford. particularly in a family cemetery like this, and kind of feel like it should be done justice. I'm gonna unearth this right here and see if it says Nancy on it. That's my hope and suspicion, and if that's the case, then that probably is enough to confirm the layout, but we will see. Stay tuned for more.